Hello guys, welcome to a continuation of our project. And now what we want to do, we want to do some nice things here on the side. So we want to do some filters for this project now. So currently I added another field called emails, so don't worry about that. We're going to be looking at that in a bit uh, later on. So let's go ahead and look at what you want to do for this one. We want to do some filters. So I'll show you how to do my filters. So I'm going to go to my deliveries here, and I'm going to go to my list page, and inside the page design, now this is what we want to do our filters. So first things first, I like doing my filters something on the left side here. So we want to have a filter of a column D of 8. We want these to be column D8, but on small devices we want it to be column D12, so it takes the whole space for the column D12. So I'm going to get a new page there, and now this page is going to be called the filters. So because this is 8, we want it to be column D4, so that 8 plus 4 is equals to 8 to 12. So this is going to be call 12, call SM12 on small devices. So that's what we want. Now on the left side, now we want to do our filters. Okay, now very first thing you need to do is take the date field. Now remember, inside our project deliver, inside our add page, you don't want this to be date in, we don't want it to be date time, and date out, we don't want it to be date time, so we want it to be date only. We want it to be date only, something like that. Now if we go to our page here, we're going to take our date filter, drag and drop it here. Okay, so we want to filter by date, and the date field we're going to be filtering in out by the date delivered, the date that this was corrected. So we want to have two filters. So we're going to go here and make this a range. We want to be able to select a range of dates so that we can see what dates we are getting. So I'm going to say, all right, good. Now we have that. Now we need to have another one for the date that this was delivered. So it's going to come here, and I'm going to go this to be date out. We also need this to be range. Okay, now here you want to have date delivered. Okay, we would have another for the date collected, but we don't really need too many. So we have that. Looking at that, we don't want this to be a card, so we're just going to be receiving it as outside. So I'll leave that like that so that you can see how it's going to be looking like. So I'm not doing the charts. So the charts you can do them because I guess we have done them before, so we don't really need to do the charts. So we're going to be looking at how to do that. So if we go now to our delivery page here, you notice we have the date in and the date out. So do you see the differences? So it will be up to you. So if you feel like you need the dates to have a card, you just come here and say this card, so you can have it like that. So if we go back to our page here, we have our deliveries, then we're going to be having this. Now another thing I want to get rid of is this drop down here. So I'm just going to go to my project menu, and I'm going to come to where we have this deliver, get rid of that, and we need to have the deliver there. Good. So let's reload this, and there we go. Alright, so we now have these three things here. So now we can select a date. So maybe we want to check a date between 25th and 28th, somewhere there. Now let's see if we can filter that. Good, so we have these data for these dates. Now let's check for a date that's not there. So let's check for those two dates. Good, now you see we don't really have those two dates because there was no transaction that took place on that date. So we can always get rid of this here. Once you cancel this here, it also cancels out there. So let's check for the dates delivered, check between those two dates, and there we go. So we have those two dates appearing there. So let's get rid of that. Now we also need to like filter with something else, so we can filter with mode of payment. So let's filter with the mode of payment. So we're going to go down here and let's filter with the mode of payment. So we come here, we can do a drop down menu or multi-choice or whatever. So let's go for the mode of payment here, and down here let's have a multi-choice. So we're going to select mode of payment there, and the data source we are going to be getting these from the available or basically let's have a quick list. Let's add the same thing we added inside our code. So we can either do it like this, or we can come back to our page here where we did our mode of payment and just copy this, copy all of it, and then let's go back to our page design, come back to our checklist here and add it there. So let's preview this again, and inside our deliver page, so we have this mode of payment here. So if we filter this, it will give us an offset. Okay, I'm not really going to deal with that right now. So oh yeah, I see the problem. So it's getting the date by default, so that should not be happening. So getting the date by default. So here we go. So we are able to get all those things there. So let's get this filter. Obviously it's going to get the dates again, so don't worry about that. And apparently there's nothing that has been done with M-Pesa. So let's check cash. I'll check what the problem is. It is with us. So we have two that are handled with cache. So we are pretty sure that this is working. So let's go ahead and now look at something else. So if you feel like this is taking too much space on your application, what you need to do is to go back. We need to implement something that is similar to this, something that does something like that. So let's go and fix that. So we come here, we are going to go and take an accordion. Take this accordion, put it down here. Okay, so you can put it over there, and we get rid of something. So we can get rid of this. So you're only left with this, and you can come here and say filters. You can call them filters, and you can have an icon for the filter. Let's just have magnifier instead. Alright, so we're going to take this date, put it there, take this date, put it there, and also this, put it there. So we have that appearing something like that. So let's preview this project again and let's see what we get. So inside our driver page, we have now this filter. You can have it to open by default, or you can have it to not even open by default by setting open by default to false. So it's not really going to be open whenever you navigate to this page. So you can have it open something like that. Now if you feel like this is taking too much space and your table is not really taking a good number, a sizable number of amount of space, sorry, you can always make it smaller. You can make this smaller. So you need to come to project, go to page design, where we have column D4. You can go all the way down to 2 if it fits. Then here you can go all the way up to 10. You can do the math, everything adds up to 12. So let's see what we have. So we have this, and yeah, I think this is just a good size for the project. I think it's a good size for the project. So there we go. So now we have this filter appearing outside. Now let's have it inside. When you have it inside, it's going to be something else. It's going to be really something else. So you need to come to this column here, and you need to drag and drop a row. Okay, come here and drop a row inside here. So we have a row inside here. Okay, so we can put this here, and inside this row we have a column. So what you need to do is take this accordion, put it in there. Now here you have this called has form. Now the has form basically tells this container to add a button called filter. So hide that. Now inside this form where we created this, you need to set this has form to be true. Now remember, this is a column we added inside the row. So let's preview this. And now if we come down here, we have this filter appearing there. So let's see. Okay, still outside. So let's see what we are not doing. Collect. Has form is false. Row. Column. Has form is true. Has form is true. Okay, let's set that to false first and see what we get. Alright, so that button disappeared. So now let's go back and set this as form to true. Okay, still outside the filter. Let me see what you're doing. Oh yeah. So that's the issue. So because this is outside the accordion, okay, we're going to come here, take a row, put it inside the accordion, and now everything that is going to be inside this row is going to be having the filter. Good. Now set this to false, and you're going to make this to has form true. Good. So if you open these up, we have this button inside this accordion at the bottom here. So can it do a filter? Let's find out. So let's come here and see what we get. So date sent between that date and this date. So can it filter? Good. So now as you can see, it's also functioning as it should. So that will be it. I don't want to make so long videos, so that will be it for this one. See you in the next one.